帰るか。まだ早いけど。
もうギブかよ。根性ねえな。
This girl assumes so much from such a small amount of information. Firstly, she assumes he lost the game and has now decided to give up, but she doesn't know that. He could be out of time. He might be bored of winning and thus sighed. He may have decided to go to another machine or any number of other things. Assumptions!
最近やってなかったから腕が鈍ってただけだよ。
あれ、うちの学校の制服じゃん。
She can tell that that's one of their school uniforms, even though only the top of his head can be seen, or maybe at best his collar and shoulders. Also, coming back to this at the end, yes, she knew that it was him, and she had to get close to him, but still, like, if that was me, I'd be questioning how she managed to determine that I'm from her school if she can just barely see my head. But yeah, anyway.
お前も八校かよ。つか、うちじゃ珍しいタイプの子だな。
Girls like her? Girls like what? Girls that are attractive because they're most definitely there? Girls who start a conversation with you? Well, maybe you've got that, but you can't tell me that no one has said a single word to him the entire time he's been there.
その格好で揚げ物は危険ですよ。
What are you saying that for, man? Have you no brain in your skull?
あんた何してんの？気持ち悪い。
メガネを落としてござる。探したござる。
何言ってるかわかんないわよ。
This girl doesn't understand the statement, I lost my glasses and was looking for them.
清流島のようですね。
清流
簡単に言えば。
For the first and last time of everything wrong with Prison School's second half video, no!
でも、俺なんかしましたっけ？
なかなかいい仕事をしてくれたぞ。
It's a brand new video, and it's the right time for the sin removal, thanks to this specific anime's very specific attributes.
攻撃されてんぞ。ほら、よそ見すんなって。ああ、あんたやっぱ弱いじゃん。
You were literally doing all the fighting!
ねえ、一口ちょうだい。
え？
ほら、私のも味見させてあげるからさ。
うわぁ、めっちゃ舐めてる。俺もハンズが舐めたアイス舐めてもいいんだよな。
She just told you that you could taste hers, man!
いいんだガクト、それでいい。
会長、ご覧の通りクソメガネは脱獄に加担したことを認めました。
I mean, if we're being technical, he hasn't admitted literally anything other than that he doesn't like you sitting your fine ass on the figurine. But yeah, that's just technically speaking or whatever.
いいのかよ。あれで良いのでござるよ。けどあのフィギュアはお前の青春をかけた。フィギュア可愛さに友を打ったとなれば。
Doesn't explain why you'd rescue her out from underneath her, though.
なんだ、あんなきちっとした格好してお乳もおパンツも見えないでござる。
スコップは貴様の仕業。
This is outrageous!
6時半には余裕で戻れるな。
はい。何ぼーっとしてんの？
What the hell is wrong with this girl? He was looking at his watch. She just constantly says he's spacing out. I don't think she knows what that means. I think she thinks it means doing casual things. That's what I think.
たまらん。副会長、好きにさせておきなさい。ハンズが足止めしている限り。叫べ叫べ叫ぶがいい。あと1分で。
She says to leave them alone, and yet in the next scene, she's smacking the shit out of them again straight away, and she doesn't say a word.
千代ちゃんが言ってただろう。 DTO の計画書があったって。それさえ見つけられれば。
けどそれはもう処分されてるんじゃないか。
I think he means to say that wouldn't it have been disposed by now, since they don't know one way or the other at the moment, but it is logical to presume so. They just have no evidence of that having happened, and so can't really comment on it like that.
俺たちの退学を取り消せるぞ。
でも紙の計画書を処分してるんならメールだって消してるんじゃ。確かに。
But, like I said before, you can't just assume all of this, lads. What's wrong with you?
言ったでござるな。何が何でもデータを奪取するぞ。俺たちの学園生活を取り戻すため。
You'd think it's oddly dangerous in their position to be openly discussing their plans to avoid expulsion right after she has left the room. Like, she could easily be listening in, and there they are putting all their cards on display in the open.
好きなんかどこにもねえな。やっぱりダメか。分かっちゃいたけどな。チクショー、時間ばっかりなくなってくぜ。
監視室に入るきっかけすら思いつかない。
Again, it's really weird that they're openly talking about this. I mean, they just had the big dude on guard duty so that they could discuss it, and as soon as she leaves, they're all discussing it, whilst not even bothering to face the direction of the doors where she could be standing and listening. CGI.
小生たちは本当に今日で退学になるのでござろうか。嘆願書を読んで理事長がここに来てくれるかどうかだな。
大丈夫だよ。きっと読んでくれてるよ。
じゃあなんで理事長は来ねえんだよ。
I'm not sure why any of them think that the rules of the school are that if they appeal, he must come down there in person to like accept it or whatever. That would be quite the inefficient way of dealing with the start of a school investigation, being forced to visit the person who put the appeal in to say, yeah, okay, I'll look at it, mate.
理事長、なぜ理事長がここに？嘆願書は私が破棄したはず。
She says this out loud and yet nothing is done about it. Yeah, I'm fairly sure that it's probably not in the school rules that a student can just tear up an appeal instead of handing it over. You're all just doing whatever the heck you want now, whilst kinda talking about rules from time to time, eh?
そう、前回の腕相撲作戦と同じく副会長を勝負に誘い、その隙にまた小生が監視室に侵入するでござる。
でもよ、アンドレは完璧に負けたぞ。
Well, that's not true, is it? He fought against her for like 6 minutes straight? That's hardly getting his ass whooped or whatever.
本来小生の計画では前回の腕相撲に引き続き尻相撲に副会長を巻き込み、その隙に小生が再び監視室に忍び込むはずでござったが。
Well, that's a weird case of exposition. I mean, it was just discussed earlier on during this very episode, and now he's bringing it up like they're not all extremely aware of what the original plan was.
彼らは1日だけの猶予を手に入れた。そのために理事長まで巻き込んで。
They kind of had to, given that there's no other way to get a one-day reprieve. So I couldn't find a single sin in the final episode. In fact, honestly, I so enjoyed watching it the second time around, probably more so than the first. The first time I watched it in the dub, probably like 5 or 6 years ago roughly, and so watching in the sub, I must say it was a lot more enjoyable. I think the headmaster is potentially more funny with his pauses when he speaks than the Japanese sub, but it was a long time ago. I just remember it made me laugh a lot. Other than that, the subject matter is brilliant, and honestly, I've never watched an anime and then went on to the manga, but I think that because this will likely not get a second season, it's going to be very likely that I, for the first time, read the manga. Anyway, thanks for voting it in. I really did love it, and I cannot wait to see what's voted in next. Hopefully, another more mature-themed anime. Nathan Burr, Bird Without a Word, Tyler Warner, PK Fan, Ali 50, Ryan Anderson, Isael Caldera, Mr. Waffle 64, Kieran Robinson, Chris Harris, Yona Shkal, Manolo Saucedo Munoz, Kim Munt, Jason Davies, The Elementendo Wars, Manuel Morales, Carnito, Dark Lord Bloody Soul, Blitzcloud, Sebastian Ramirez, Aura Keeper, Jaffa 6263, Magnus, Kevin Nelter, Aniki Curve, Brendan Krier, Kaj Vorzelman, Jordan Samuels, Sean Graves, The Epic Commander, Crimson Shadows, Kyle Farmer, Adora Blue, Matthew Ditzworth, Sentimento, Gaten 2000, Mackie Sam, Storm 970, Hinakami and Water.